Mr. Jones, we believe, and as you believe, that allying our forces for good and for stopping to hate propaganda so common in, especially in the Middle East, is our duty. Therefore, we believe that we have to be engaged in an intellectual campaign against all harmful ideologies that fuel radicalism. We believe that this way we can bring peace, love, and brotherhood to the region and then to the entire world. And what do you think about this? Can you tell us a little?
Yes, I think we're talking about a process and an outcome. The process itself is worthwhile. Let me give you a little bit of history. About 10 years ago, there was a major conference held in Kazakhstan called a Conference of Peace and Accord, where Jewish, Christian and Muslim delegations came together from mainly that part of the world, but there were international delegates also. So I from Australia was part of the Jewish delegation, with the idea of saying we were in a time of crisis. It was the early days of the wars which followed September 11th in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it was a great fear for many people in the world that we were going to see a conflict between different nations, but religion being used as a pretext. The countries came together and were able to put out a very promising, very forward-thinking statement about the role of religions in working together to combat extremism. Then a few years later, in 2004, the governments of Australia and Indonesia, working together with governments of 13 other countries in our region, organised the first Asia-Pacific Regional Interfaith Dialogue. And what that did was governments of 15 countries, or 13 countries, sorry, brought together delegations of religious leaders, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu and others, came together to say there are people who are using religion to spread harm and mischief. We are going to show that religion is a force for good. We are going to show not only individual religions be a force for good, but religions working together can be a force for good. And there's a great understanding, particularly from my part of the world, that we have a responsibility. If we want to build a better world, we have to show our example of what we can do, how we can work together. And we have seen already in the past 10 years in the Asia-Pacific region, East Asia-Pacific region, we have seen people who have never known each other before, who were all doing good works in the name of God, Christians, Muslims, Jews and others, suddenly were saying, we can do a better job about solving the problem if we work together. Yes. And as soon as you start working together, you can give the example and say, yes, we can work together to spread a better view, but more importantly, religion, moderate religion, is not something which is steamrolled by radical religion, but we are going to have the momentum for the future. But we won't have the momentum unless we find programs of ways we can work together, we keep communication together, and we keep our cooperative projects wherever they are and keep building on them all the time.
Yes, you're right. I mean, actually, there is only one religion, moderate religion. There is no radical religion, because radicalism and extremism is something against religion. For example, Islam, the word Slim, it derives from the word Slim. It means peace. So there is no murdering innocent people. There is no anger, no hatred against people of the book. There is no such thing. And this is very definite from the Quran. But what's happening is not because of religion, the radicalism and extremism from different ideologies. So our alliance is very important. We don't even say the dialogue of three divine religions, but we say alliance of the three divine religions. This will generate power, and this will be very powerfully, but through education, eradicates extremism and radicalism. Jerry, can we have your comment, please?
Are you talking to me, Sir?
Yes, yes. Can we have your comment, please?
Okay, yeah, you were cutting out there a little bit. I think you nailed it on the head, really, with the education. It's definitely an intellectual struggle against some of the ideologies that are fueling radicalism and hate and bigotry and romanticism and so many different things in different religions. And a lot of this comes from misunderstanding, I think, or from not understanding. A lot of people fear what they don't know. Then we also have to look at the fact, as Mr. Jones said, that you cannot force anything onto somebody else's beliefs. When you do that, you have an empty belief. and that is just as good as no belief at all. So I think we have to really be understanding of people that may have been misguided or that are misled, and that have been so their whole lives. Basically, you're looking at sometimes a completely 360-degree turnaround of somebody's beliefs for them to come away from something that they have been taught falsely. And then we go back again to some of the verses in the Quran that tell us that if we see something wrong being said or being done, that it is our duty, and this is in all religions, to correct that. And I think that is one thing we need to concentrate on too, as well as to definitely concentrate on what is there to work with, and get those grounds down solid to where we can work with each other and work at the things that are on the surface before trying to dive into what is under the surface that may be ideology or traditionalism. I think getting past those are the hardest obstacles we have.
All right.